Hello everyone, this is Pal Ponder on Weather coming at you with another video. In today's update, we're going to be talking about an intense storm system that promises an active week with severe weather as well as possibly a blizzard. So before I do get started, if you do like weather related content, please subscribe to my channel and definitely share with your friends on social media. All right, so let's delve into the details. Let's start off with the overall surface map of what it's going to look like coming up on Monday morning. We had that cool front that passed through that's now going to back up as a warm front and sending off another round of heavy rain coming up on your Monday morning commute for the Dallas-Fort Worth area, dumping another 1 to 2 inches of rain and dumping some more rain showers into the southeast. But then I want to turn your attention to the West Coast again. We're going to be eyeing a developing low pressure system diving off the West Coast. It's going to be sending in another intense system, bringing in more rainfall for the Southwest for this week. If we take a look at the height as far as the winds, we can see that developing trough that's going to be digging all the way down off the West Coast, kind of getting its out together, wrapping itself up, bringing in some of that, tapping into some of that Pacific moisture again, bringing in more rain for California into the desert Southwest, more rain into Phoenix. And eventually this system will be swinging across the east and really kind of getting its act together by mid and later part of the week. Now, if we take it on to Tuesday and look at the overall surface map, we have that cool front that's going to be basically kind of like toggling back and forth all week. By Tuesday, is bringing more severe weather, and West Texas, we're going to have to be dealing with some hail, some high winds, and quite possibly even a tornado or two. But out ahead of it, an extremely heavy rain event dumping, easily 2 to 4 inches into parts of Oklahoma, tapping into some of those warmer temperatures. And like I said, we've got that developing low pressure system out in the West Coast that we're also going to have to be dealing with. So it's going to be an active week ahead in the weather department. Now by Thursday, like I said, this low pressure system is really going to kind of get its act together, and you can kind of see the relative vorticities at this time. It's going to be possibly coming in what they call negative tilt. So as this system comes in off the southwest, going to be bringing extreme amount of bulk shear into developing with updrafts as well. And as this colder air, it's going to be diving in, these low pressure system rotate counterclockwise. And so as it rotates counterclockwise and as it's pulling in some of those higher updrafts, these are going to be having create updrafts and quite possibly spin in the upper atmosphere in the mid latitudes, which would be conducive for large hail, damaging winds, and possibly tornadoes by the time Thursday hits. And like I said, out ahead of it's just going to be an active week as the overall surface map brings more rain Wednesday, Thursday into Texas. So we're going to be dealing with an active week ahead. And like I said, by Thursday, that's kind of like the main event this week. We're going to be dealing with that dynamic system coming in off the West Coast, colder air aloft, off the northwest flow, and these out ahead of it, these dew points are going to be rising into the upper 60s, so all the way to the Ohio Valley as well. So where you see these dew points in the 60s, you're going to be under the gun for heavy rain and quite possibly a severe weather outbreak in this area. Coming up by Wednesday of this week. So we're going to have to be definitely paying attention to that because the bulk shear in this system is going to be relatively high. So there's going to be a lot of velocity, a lot of energy in the atmosphere to be able to tap into. And I'll show you some of these temperatures, and the temperature gradient is pretty extreme with about a 60-degree difference. So you got that warm southeast ridge pumping in some of that Gulf moisture with these water temperatures are easily 80 degrees right now. So plenty of fuel in the atmosphere. And like I said, with it coming in negative tilt, it's going to be prime direction to pull in that Gulf moisture to create that lift that you need for severe weather. And another part is your CAPE values, the energy in the atmosphere. This is uh, basically all your energy, convective available potential energy in the atmosphere. And a normal thunderstorm runs about 500 to 1,000 kgs, and you can see it kind of maxing all the way out to almost 4,000. So there's going to be quite possibly extreme amounts of energy to the atmosphere as this system comes in to be able to tap into. So, and if we take a look at the overall surface map of what it actually looks like at the surface, by Thursday, we've got those training storms possibly over Texas into Oklahoma and all this region where I showed you the elevated dew points. But on the back side, there's going to be another, like I said, stronger cold front that's going to be dumping some more snow, breaking out over Colorado into Wyoming and eventually into Nebraska and possibly South Dakota. Now, if you take a look at the overall temperature anomalies, and you can see, like I said, out ahead of it, we're going to be dealing with those, 62, 65, 68 degree dew points. So plenty of moisture to tap into. And obviously these anomalies are going to be really high with this southeast ridge really baking you guys for a good part of the week with a lot of moisture to be dealing with. So these temperature anomalies are easily going to be running 20 to 25 degrees above normal, but that's where the culprit lies, because we got a lot of cold air coming in off the northwest. They're going to be tapping into to create that severe weather. And like I said, another thing we're going to be dealing with is maximum winds as well. So quite possibly, these winds are going to be kicking, 40, 50 knots, which puts you at a maximum wind of easily 55, 60 miles an hour in places. So you need at least 58 to create a severe thunderstorm. So there's going to be plenty of wind to be dealing with on the southeast side into these thunderstorms, but quite possibly on the northwest side, going to have to deal with quite possibly even a blizzard, if you can believe it or not, in parts of the regions where like I said, these anomalies are going to be pretty extreme, where you saw by Thursday, but even the next day by Friday, that colder air starts to really dig southeast, and where you see these 30 to 35 degrees below normal temperatures, this is going to be like a 60-degree swing. We could have possibly a blizzard set up over the central U.S. into Wyoming, parts of Nebraska, into South Dakota. So we're going to be dealing with that this week. And on the surface map, it's pretty evident where the demarcation line is, where that severe weather is going to take place, but where you have out ahead of it off that northwest flow, where these darker blues set up, you saw the wind. So not only going to be dealing with 1 to 2 inch snowfall rates per hour, but these winds quite possibly could make it a blizzard if it lasts more than 3 or 4 hours at a time with 35 mile per hour winds or greater for an extended period of time. But by Friday, we finally get a break of this active pattern as some of that colder air really tries to entrench all the way down to the south and into the southeast. So there is some relief coming as far as temperatures because you are going to cool off by later this weekend. But if you take a look at the overall rainfall this week, we're going to be dealing with more rain for Southern California and into Phoenix, but the heavy rain event is going to set up right over Texas, into Arkansas, much of the southeast. But this time, it's actually going to extend all the way through to the Ohio Valley, into Illinois, Indiana, and Ohio, where you're going to be dealing with those 4 to 5 inch rains, which it stopped kind of last week. So all this area has been getting an extreme amount of rainfall, but this time this system is probably going to extend a little bit further north into what they did last week, and dumping some of those heavier rains. You're going to have to be dealing with some of the severe weather quite possibly further north than what you had to be dealing with this week. But if you take a look at the overall snowfall map for the week through Saturday, you can kind of see a bullseye over Wyoming into Nebraska and parts of South Dakota, where we could possibly have a blizzard breakout with 8 to 12 inches of snow in this area coming up for Friday, possibly into Saturday of this upcoming week. So we've got an active week ahead. Definitely stay with me and be sure to like this video and share with your friends on social media, and definitely subscribe to my channel and leave your comments below on your most memorable severe weather event that you have gone through. So I'd love to hear from you on that, and definitely catch me in the next video where I protect you before and after the storm.